Alice was placed on a shelf on her very first day of marriage. Her eccentric husband, eager to satisfy his vanity, invited all his friends to come and observe. Alice remained on the shelf until nightfall, completing the newlywed ritual with her husband. Alice was originally a supermodel, but caught the eye of a wealthy man during a fashion show. Swept off her feet by his passionate pursuit, Alice quickly fell for him. The two rapidly fell in love, and soon began living together. However, on this particular morning, Alice was awakened by a strange noise. Curious, she ventured into the living room, only to find her husband demolishing a wall. He had built a pink shelf, and upon seeing Alice awake, he excitedly approached her. Alice initially praised her husband's craftsmanship, assuming he had personally made the shelf to display his own trophies. But her husband gestured dismissively, revealing that the shelf was made specifically for Alice. Alarmed, Alice hastily explained that she had too many high heels, and the shelf simply couldn't accommodate them all. Her husband finally confessed. "This shelf is designed exclusively for displaying you." Alice was instantly shocked, her face filled with disbelief. But her husband explained, "This is the best wall in the villa. Sitting up there, you'll not only have the most spectacular view, but I'll also be able to see my beloved wife at all times while I work." At first, Alice didn't feel particularly blessed, but she gradually adapted to living on the shelf. She exercised there, though she worried about disturbing her working husband. His response delighted her. It wasn't Alice who was disturbing him, but rather his work that was disturbing Alice. Every day, Alice received gifts, some for her birthday 10 days away, others for various far-fetched anniversaries. In truth, it was simply because her husband adored her so much. Alice devoted immense effort to her appearance each day, presenting a brand new look to greet her husband. However, she slowly noticed an issue: the gifts had stopped arriving. Yet a blown kiss seemed to surpass any previous luxury. Gradually, she also realized her husband was burying himself in work. Although he still glanced at Alice, their exchanges had grown somewhat unfamiliar. Alice felt neglected. She tried humming tunes to remind her husband how beautiful she looked today, but he gestured for her to hush. Alice attempted to console herself even. The most exquisite vase couldn't be admired every moment of the day. She continued to adorn herself with fresh outfits and meticulous care, sometimes spending ages on a single concealer. But her husband had stopped looking at Alice altogether, turning his gaze towards the curtains. The outside sunlight was hitting his screen, interfering with his work. He instructed the servants to move his desk, turning completely away. Alice was fuming. How could her husband be so wasteful of her beauty?